Annie and this is Annie's Arachnids. Now today's video is a little bit different. I'm going to talk to you about the Pamphobeteus Nigricolor, which is now called Twitchy. But before I start this amazing story, I would like for you guys, please, to like, comment down below and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And for further videos to see me, please hit the notification bell. It will be very helpful. So let's get the story started. So it was a Saturday. Me and Robbie sitting down. Normally makes his video on a Saturday, but we had feedings to do. I normally do the slings and the juveniles, and Robbie is in charge of the adults. So, but Robbie was being a little bit helpful that day. He was being really kind and he decided, you know what, I'm going to do the slings and the juvenile just to get a load off me, so I didn't have to do so much that day. So I was very grateful. So as he began to start feeding, we came across Twitchy, the Pamphobeteus Nigricolor. And we were like, oh my God, it's amazing. It's just molted, still on its back and still moving its leg like it was still molting. But obviously we took the molt out and just filled the water dish up when it's ready to flip over and ready to have some water if needed. So all was good, carried on with the feedings. We chilled out afterwards once we finished the feedings, and then he went home. Everything was normal. Next day I thought, well, you know, it's only good to check on little Twitchy. So I went over, checked on little Twitchy. Now Twitchy was still on his back, still moving his legs, like it was molting, just twitching away his legs. Didn't think nothing of it that day, because as we know, some of us might know, it takes a while for some tarantulas to flip themselves over, because molting is a very tiring procedure. So didn't think nothing of it, because it does take sometimes hours and hours for them to recover or what have you. So let it be. Put it back on the shelf until the next day came. So this was Monday. So Monday now, I went to look and I was like, still on its back. Right. Made sure that the water dish was filled. Yeah, everything's good. I mean, everything was done. Everything's ticked off. But I was still concerned. It's been, what, 2.5 days still on its back. So I went on the old dog and bone. For some of you people who are outside of outside of London and outside of the UK, that is Cockney rhyming slang for phone. So I got on my phone and I started texting Robbie. I was like, Robbie, Twitchy's on his back, still twitching away, you know, a bit concerning. Robbie was like, no, it's okay. Do you know what? It's fine. And I was like, okay. Trust his judgment, left it. Now Tuesday come. Still in that same position, still moving its leg like it was still in the molten mode, and it was just still twitching away. So now I was just like, yeah, Rob, this is not normal. It's Tuesday now. It molted on Saturday. So Robbie was like, yeah, I agree. So that's when the research started kicking in, and we Googled. I mean, he Googled more than I did. I kind of asked about friends around if they knew any of this kind of peculiar behaviour of a tarantula, and nobody seemed to come across this kind of peculiar behaviour. So, you know, people were giving me great advice and what it could be, but it just didn't add up, because it could have been what they said, but then there was other things that just didn't add up as they were saying. But like, yes, yes, but no, no. So there was like yeses and no's. So it was still a bit a head scratcher. Robbie couldn't find anything on the internet of anything of this peculiar behaviour. So now as days went on, it's now Friday. And I'm on my live and I'm showing everybody Twitchy on my live. And the first time that I presented them with Twitchy, and I said, oh my God, it's on its back. It's been like this since Saturday. Anybody can give me anything, or just, you know, has anybody come across this? Nobody really has. And it was just such a head scratcher. So then obviously I went into nurse mode. So I was every day looking, started, because it hasn't flipped over at all, I started putting water on the fangs, but it didn't look like it was drinking at all. But I just kept on doing it every day. Every other day I put water on its fangs, but every day I would watch, and it was still twitching like it was molting still. Even though the molting procedure was over on that Saturday when we took the molt out, it was still acting very peculiar, that it was still in a twitching mode. So the only thing was just to watch over it. And we did that, and I was constantly on the live, and a week, it came from 1 week came to 2 weeks came to 3, until I had some progress. When I put water on its fangs started moving. So I was like, oh my God, that's great. That's amazing. I couldn't believe it. It started to drink. That was the first progress that I actually got. And I was like, okay, there is some sort of progress. Still twitching away. And let's not forget that it hasn't eaten either. Has not eaten since it molted. So like about 2 weeks in, it was actually moving its fangs, and it was actually taking some water. So I just kept on giving it water. So now it's drinking. So that was amazing. As the week went by, I thought it needs to eat. It's great that it's drinking, but I need to let it eat. So I got the smallest worm that I could find. And then I got like a mini worm, because I didn't know what to expect. Crushed his head, crushed the worm's head, and rest it on his fangs. Still a little bit wriggly, but I rested it on his fangs anyways. Excuse me. And lo and behold, it sunk its fangs in the worms. I was like, fantastic. That's amazing. So I'm there texting Rob about the first time I texted him, I was like, oh my gosh, he or she is drinking. It's fantastic. He was great. Week after that, it's eating. Brilliant. That day I gave Twitchy 2 worms, and because they were small, I didn't want to give it a big worm because I don't want it to be too much, but it devolved it. So a couple of days after that, I gave it a big worm. Amazing. Started to get some strength. Now, at this point, it's been weeks since it's been on its back, twitching away like it's still molting when it's over and done with. And I thought to myself, what if I just flipped it myself? Now, you know, you don't want to mess with tarantulas when they're in that stage of pre-molt. You leave it alone. It's the number one rule. Leave them and let them do their natural thing. It's a natural, let them do it themselves. But because all of that was over with, I thought to myself, let's just try that. So I gently flipped it on its legs. At first, stood up fine. Left it for a while. And then again, when I looked again to see how it was, a couple of hours, it was back on its back. I was like, God, what's going on? But at the end of the day, it was still eating and it was still drinking. That was a brilliant progress. So I thought, you know what? If that's how comfortable it wants to be, if it wants to be on its back, let him or her be on his back. So as the weeks go on, I'm on my live. Everybody was asking about Twitchy because I just kept on saying, like, sharing to everybody, like, oh my God, Twitchy, you know, it's making progress. And it was such a concerning topic for me because I was so concerned about little Twitchy, and it really was a head scratcher for both me and Robbie, and it was crazy. It was totally crazy, but everybody was so amazing and asking how, and I kept on showing, look, still at the back, but it's eating, it's drinking. In that live, it was probably about 4, maybe 5 weeks in that mode. While I was in that live, as I put down the little enclosure that it was in, it was only a little square enclosure, put it down, and literally right in front of my eyes, Twitchy flipped himself over, or her, over, and was on its legs. And I was like, oh my God, I was literally so excited. I showed everyone. I was like, oh my God, of all the times, like I caught it in that moment. I was like, literally just flipped herself over. It was amazing. Now, it was a little bit giddy on his legs, I'm not gonna lie. It looked like a drunken master out of like a Jackie Chan film or something like that. But it was very giddy on his leg, but it did flip him or herself over. I was so excited. So as my live was over and the next day, I went to go and see if Twitchy's okay. Twitchy was still on his leg, still a bit giddy. This time, when Rob came over, he gave it a cricket, devoured the cricket. Now, when it devoured, I was so shocked because it was only a sling and it took a cricket down, and I was like, what? So it took a cricket down and it had a couple of crickets after that. And now, Twitchy is at, it's 100% back to normal. Like literally from being absolutely like on its back, doing nothing for like at least a month or so. On his back, doing nothing, feeding him, watering it, him or her, sorry, on his back, because we don't know what sex it is, on his back, to actually turning itself over and completely recovering from that situation. It was such a scary moment for me, you know, having it on its back, and I really did think it wasn't gonna make it. I really didn't think Twitchy was gonna make it at all. But I was so shocked, and it was such an achievement, thinking, oh my God, we've actually got it back to health. We have actually done that, and it was such an achievement. So I was really happy and ecstatic, and at this present time, he and she is absolutely amazing. It's eating, it's drinking, and just waiting for his next pre-molt, which I hope it's not going to be the same thing that it was last time. So fingers crossed for me, guys, that it doesn't happen. Hopefully it will be successful and it will flip himself or herself over after the molt. But yeah, Twitchy is doing absolutely great. So I just want to thank you all for helping me. You know who you are. I can't name it. If I had a list, I have too much of a big list, but thank you for everyone that tried to help me, give me some advice and everything like that. Even the ones that were just concerned and just showing some concern and letting me know, basically just seeing how he was or she was. So yeah, I'm ecstatic, and I know you guys were begging for me to do this story, so I thought, why not do the story? I'm crying. So I thought, yeah, I'll share the story with you. It's amazing, and Twitchy's progress, you can see that it's made a big achievement. Well, in the hobby, it's one of my big achievements, getting it to where it is now. So that's my achievement in my hobby so far. Breeding achievements, I haven't got to that yet, but I hoping to tick that off. So yeah, that is the most amazing story that I have to share with you about Twitchy. I am just rambling on now, so I'm going to put this to a close. I just want to say thank you again, everybody, for your kind words, just your concerns about Twitchy, everybody trying to give me all the information and everything like that, and trying to see if they can help any way I can. Thank you so much. It means a lot. This community, the tarantula community, is amazing, and I'm just so happy to be a part of it. So love you all, guys. I don't know why I'm really tearing up, but I'm not even upset. I just don't know why I'm having tears streaming up. But thank you so much. You have been 100% amazing. There is nothing left for me to say, only to say that my name is Annie, and you guys have been watching Annie's Arachnids. I will see you next time. See ya.